it will ask you for your username and password, and you will have to use your same email username and password to logging into your admin console, right? So that is the another way. Now once you have logged into the console, so you will see all these tiles here. So first I'll just give you a small overview, then we will go inside each and every tile. So dashboard, just an email id update that would be there. User, all about user management. Groups is all about creating groups email id and managing that with some restrictions if required. Then you have organizational unit, so it will already be a part of user, so will be covered when we will see the user related feature. Building and resources, so this is a place where you can add your room details, so that when users will create an event in their Google Calendar, so they will be able to block the room. So that is what can be done inside building and resources. Then you have devices, so this is mobile device management, wherein you can manage the controls of users email on their mobile phone. We will see what all policies are there, and how you need to apply that, and what you need to do. Then you have application section. So basically, by default Google has enabled all the applications to the users, like the Google applications that you see here. So you can customize these applications to users, and you can define what access the user should have. That is something that can be customized here in the application section. Then you have security. In security, maximum you will have password related, wherein you can set passwords for users, like password limitations, minimum character, maximum characters, right? So that is something. Session control, your web session, Gmail session, web session, in activity time, you can control here in the security section. Then you have reports. So some reports will be available in the form of graphical representation, like you can see app usage reports. You can see your Gmail usage report. Email log search is something that you will be able to see. Drive audit log is something that admin can come and view here. Then billing will show your current plan, and the number of license that are being occupied or used. And a company profile, you can upload your company logo, wherein your users, when they will log into Google applications, so they will be able to see the company logo on the right hand side. I will show you later on where does it shows. Then you have admin roles. Now this is something which a super administrator will be able to do. So super administrator can go and define the access for administrators, in case if he wants to delegate certain access from admin console to some other users, so that can be done inside the admin rules. Then you have domains. So in case if there are multiple domains, and the admin wants to manage the both the domains under one admin console, if both are on G Suite, so that can be done from this domain section. Then data migration. So data migration is all about transferring the data, inbox data specifically. So transferring inbox data from one user to another user's inbox. So for that, you can the admin can do that with the help of data migration. And then you have support. Initially the first level support will be with the Shivami. So we have our own support team. So at the end I will be sharing my email id and my support team's email id and their contact number. You can save it on your mobile phone, so whenever there is any issue or you want any assistance, so you can get in touch with our support team, and they will help you out. So I will share the escalation later on, the contact details and and at the end. In the meanwhile, there is also an application called Meet. Sorry, Google admin console inside the Play. You may not have full user management groups and mobile device. So these are some of the things which would be available in the application. So if you have downloaded the application from Play Store, and if you have logged in through your official ID, and if you are being given any kind of admin related access, so you will be able to control certain things from your mobile phone itself also. So you don't have to log into browser all the time. Like for example, resetting password, so you don't have to log into your admin console via browser all the time. You can do the password reset for any user with your mobile phone also, with the help of Google admin application. So just an overview that we did, and now we will go inside each and every tile to see the features. So first we'll go to users. So it's all about user management, means creating users. So whenever a new employee joins the company, and if you want to create his email ID, so simply you can go to this add new user, and here you can add all the details that are mandatory, and you can click on add new user. Right, you can set a password for him, whether you want the password to be generated automatically, and whether you want the user to change the password after his first login. That is something that you can choose and click on add new user. So in case if you want to create users in bulk, so simply you can first download this template. It's a ready-made template. So save it somewhere on your desktop, and then later on open it up and fill all the details. And once the file is ready, you can come to attach CSV section, attach that file, and click on upload.
Uh,
So all
one
the
Hey
second.
Sandeep.
yes.
Sandeep, Sandeep, one question.
So
Actually, you said import, right? One second. Import,
So
right? In the import option, if there's any conflict name is there, means it's a problem will be there, right?
in can you give me an
Duplicate.
example, Ajay, like how?
Uh, means duplicate name. Means already the name is already registered and the same name is there. Is
Hmm.
Ajay Kumar is there. Some other
Okay.
and one more name is Ajay Kumar, only new person Ajay Kumar joined.
Okay.
When
Okay.
you came the first name, last name is Ajay Kumar only.
Yes. So
We don't
while
know that Ajay Kumar is registered
yes,
already there.
understood. I understood. So while uploading, it will give you an error during the uploading itself. So see,
Okay.
when you will come
Ajay,
here, and when
Ajay,
you have
it will
attached.
be Ajay, it will be just like the our SIS import.
Okay, Olympus, what you are doing? Similarly.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. So this will give
Okay.
you
So
an error
Okay.
while
Sandeep,
uploading itself.
Sandeep,
Sandeep, I got it. I got it,
actually,
Sandeep.
Yeah.
yeah. So actually, can you show how we can assign the license? Actually, we are having the I think we are having our support from Shivami, and I think we are having license for the basic and the business both.
Uh-huh.
So can we
Okay.
define? So how can we define the license by creating the user?
Okay, Praveen, I also wanted to understand actually that you recently shifted to G Suite, or you are using it since beginning?
Yeah, we are using it since beginning.
Since beginning, right? And
Yeah,
recently you have shifted some of the license to business, right?
yeah.
Okay, okay. So I just for my understanding, I wanted to know that maybe you all might be using this admin panel since long. So do you want me to tell you everything, or only you want to know about what all things gets added in the admin console in the business edition? So can you just help me out with that?
So so can you define in a describe means over means you can tell us the whatever is required. Okay, what is the necessary thing? So
Mm-hmm.
how we can manage all the things. If we will have any issue later, then we can also email you, or also can contact you.
Okay, okay, okay. Understood. I
So you
understood.
can
So
give an
what
overview to us.
I
Huh?
can, I can go
Sandeep, Sandeep.
normal as I go.
Actually, as per now means we are using only the add new users. Add new users only that part we are using up to now. Rest of the
Okay,
features we are new to that.
okay, okay. So you have not used, you have not went inside any of the other tools.
Recently means I use the app to take the backup of our Google Drive. I use this recently feature.
Okay, okay, no problem, no problem. So quickly, I will go through all these things. Maybe I will try to I will avoid to do any non-essential stuff. It will take time. So at least you will come to something there in the console, and we will get a team who can help you out, right? So I think that would be fair. Okay, so Praveen, that billing part, as you said, that will always come in whenever there or because my console doesn't have a combination of basic or business. So maybe in case if you are using from your end, you can console, and from there I will show you that what all you need to do. So let us. So this would be like a learning session for you, right? Okay. So bulk upload is something, as I said, wherein you would want to create more than one email ID. So then
Yeah, like his internet has some issue, I think. Can anyone hear me? Yeah. Can't hear anything.
No, not audible.
Sandeep,
Sandeep, can you unmute yourself?
okay. Yeah, I have unmuted myself. Okay, so download user, as I said, if you want to download the list of all the users that you have created for any future reference purpose or a record purpose, you can do that. You can download the list of all those users. More options I'll come later. Then whenever you want to reset a password for any user, you can reset his password. You can rename the same license to some another email ID if required, so the previous id becomes as an alias, gets added as an alias by default. Then if you want to add the user to any groups that you have created before, so you can add the users directly to the group. And then you have some options like suspending, so you can suspend the user for a particular period of time. However, there is no time limit that is being set. You can keep the user suspended till the time you want. However, your one license will be occupied. So once you suspend the user will not be able to log into his inbox, nor he will receive any incoming emails. However, whatever mails was there in his inbox, all those will remain as it is. So when you suspend a user, the status will be shown as suspended. And later on, if you want to reactivate that user again, so you need to go to the same section and you can click on reactivate. So here it will be shown as reactivate user. Then comes restore. So whenever a user deletes anything from his email or drive and it goes to trash, so even if he has deleted from the trash, so admin can recover and give it to him. So what admin needs to do, admin need to go to restore data, and he need to select the date within where he has deleted the data from his trash, and you can click on restore by checking whether it was a drive file or whether it was an email. However, only one thing you need to remember here, that you can delete the data, you can restore the data which was deleted within the last 25 days, right? So you need to check whether the user, what date, whatever date that is telling, so whether that date is 20 within the 25 days or not. So if it is within 25 days, you will be able to restore the data for him, either for his email or for his Google Drive. So if it is more than 25 days, then you won't be able to restore the data for him, right? So that is something that is restoring the data for a particular user. And then you have delete user finally. So whenever you delete a user, so either you can take a, if you want a drive, docs and calendar data to be transferred to somebody else, so you can put his email ID and then you can proceed with the deletion. However, if you do not want to have any backup for that user, so simply you can untick all the boxes and then you can click on delete. So now the email ID will be sent for deletion. Now whenever you will delete an email ID, so the email id will Google will still give you an option to recover that email id within 20 days. So in case if you have deleted an email id and you realize later that the id was deleted by mistakenly, and the same needs to be restored. So you will still have 20 days time from the date of deletion to recover that id. So in case if you want to restore a deleted id, so what you need to do, on the panel, if you see here, you have an option called as add a filter. So just click here and come down. Here you will see an option called as recently deleted. Now the moment you click on recently deleted, so it will show you the email id, and it will also show you the number of days that is left, right, how many days is left. Now maybe I had deleted this id exactly 20 days before as on today, so that is the reason it is showing me that is recoverable until today, means today, maximum till today I can recover it. So here if you see the recover option, so the moment I click on recover, his entire data, his email id data, whatever files that he had, whatever calendar that he had, events that he had, everything will be restored back as it is, right? And again he will also start receiving emails. However, if 20 days is gone, then you won't be able to recover that data and the email id. However, if you have the license, you can create his email id once again. However, all the data that was there with the users will be lost, right? So, and also one thing you need to always ensure, that whenever you are restoring an id, so you should have the license available. If the license is not available, then you will not be able to recover the email id. So it will give you an error. Maybe you will have to get the license first and then you will have to recover that. So that's all about user. Then inside user you have something called as organization unit. So organization unit is something that you create in case if you wish to apply a policies. So you can apply the policy based on OUs, right? So it's like a group, you can say, which you are creating for creating, for defining the policies and applying the policies. So how you need to do is, you can click on manage, right? Click on manage, and here it will give you an option to create an organizational unit. So organizational unit can be created based on the department name, based on the designation name, or maybe based on the restriction name that you are going to add. And once you have done, once you have added, so now simply you will have to move the users to an OU. So how to move the users is again very simple. You will select the users, like 1 2 3 4. You have selected these 4 users, and suppose if you want to move these users to any of the OU. So now what you can do, you can go to this more section, and here you can move them to an organizational unit. So at the same time, if you want to add them, all 4 of them, to into some groups that you have created, you can do that also. Or else you can move them to organizational units. So see, whatever organization that you have created, right, so that will be displayed here. Now you can select the organization unit that you want and click on continue. So now they all will be moved to this OU. So OU creation and user movement is just a part, right? The policies will be applied only when you will go to certain sections, like policies are available inside device, policies are available inside apps, right? Inside security. So these are the only three places wherein you will see those policies available. So whenever you will go to those policies, so on the left hand side you will be able to see all the OUs that you have created. So before applying the policy, you need to first select the OU and then apply the policy, so that the policy gets applied to only those set of users, right? Also, you will have to remember one thing: one user can be a part of only one OU. One user cannot be a part of multiple OU. So you have to be very your OU level formation should be very much clear, that what OU you are going to create and which user needs to be there in that OU. Any questions from the user point of view before we move on
Yeah.
to? Yes,
Yeah.
please. Yes, please. Yes, please.
How
Go on.
can we check? How can we check the license? How many licenses we have used, or how many licenses are remaining there?
Yes, we will come to that when when we'll come to the billing section. At that time, I will tell you. Right. So all those things will be displayed in the billing section. Fine. So yeah,
Sandeep, yeah.
from
So I have
user
one doubt.
point, yeah, from user management point of view, any question you can.
Yeah. So while deleting the user, we can take the backup. Now, so what all other things will get backed up?
See, as I
Yeah.
showed you here, before deleting the user, right here, so I can take his drive data, whatever data that he has kept in his drive, whatever data that he had in his calendar, right? So these are the things that I can move to somebody else. That is first thing. And here you cannot move the mail data, but as if you remember, there is one option in the admin panel called as data migration, right? So suppose, for example, there is a user whose drive data and everything you have already moved, because to move the drive data there is one more option called as transfer of ownership in the application section. I will show you that later on. So suppose you have moved his entire files, and now you want to also move the emails, means you want to also transfer the emails which are there in his inbox to maybe his supervisor. So you can come to the data migration section, and here you can download his sorry, you can move his mails from A users to B users inbox. Like if you want to exclude some folders, so all those things can be done from this section, from this data migration section also. So maybe
Okay.
I will show you one demonstration once we will come to the data migration.
Sure. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's one. Thank you.
Okay. uh, from user point of view, is there anything, anybody has any other questions?
Is there what is the difference between AU and group? So how would differentiate? So can we
Yeah.
apply a policy in a group? Is that
No,
possible?
but see, you can apply policies on group. However, group applying policies on group will be very limited. Means it that
Okay.
provision will not be there everywhere. You might see it maybe one or two places maximum, but not
Okay.
more than that. However, OU is something that will be displayed everywhere wherever you see the policies,
Okay. Okay.
right? Okay, so group is basically, it is designed in a way wherein you can have a group related communication. So
Okay.
when you go to groups, so we see that the many companies, they have their group email IDs, right?
Okay. Okay. Got it. Got it. So it's
So
not about okay. It's not about applying policy. Just kind of groups, kind of team groups or something.
yes, team groups, internal group,
Ah,
customers group. So like this, you can create group email IDs, and inside those group email IDs, you can align users, right? To
okay.
whom the email needs to go whenever somebody sends an email on that group ID, because group ID doesn't have an inbox. So the email will not land anywhere when you are sending an email on a group email ID. So it will always go to the users who are a part of that group, right? So that is first thing. However, there are certain places where you can apply policies on groups also. However, it is very limited, that those sections are very limited. That's why I will show you that also when we will come to this app section. At that time I will show you.
Sure. Sure. Sure.
Okay, so now group creation is also very simple. I think your company organization might also have many group email IDs, right? Group email ID does not consumes your license. However, it looks like an email ID only. However, it does not consumes your license. So you can click on create group here, and then add the group name. And once your group is created, here you need to add the users and click on next. So after clicking on next, you can define the policy. Like for example, let me show you here for one of the group. Okay, like suppose, no, okay, suppose I have created this group called as silver group at the rate abcdomain.com, and then I come to the, or while creating the group, after creating the group, I get this option, right? What policy that I want to keep for this group, means what access I want to define for this group. So that access is something that I can choose here. And most importantly, sometimes I might have a group wherein I may want external people to be blocked to that group there, or I might have a group wherein I might want external as well as internal people also not to be not able to communicate to that group. So it completely depends on my requirement. So my group email IDs can be according to my requirement, right, according to my management requirement. So here what I can do, like for example, suppose I do not want anybody from outside domain to be able to send email on this group. In case if that is something that I want, that this group is specific to our organization only, nobody from outside should be able to send mails on that group email ID. So you can untick this option. So if there is a group, internal group, a management's group, wherein you feel that none of the employee should also be able to communicate on that group, only people who are there added inside the group, only they should be able to communicate. If you're looking out for some certain options like that, so you can simply untick the last option, right? You can untick the entire organization, and then you can go ahead and you can click on save. So like this, you can create groups. And at the same time, there is no limitations on group. You can define the access that you are actually looking out for a group, for your groups, right? Any questions in the groups part?
Yeah. So is there any option in the group which we can assign somebody as a group owner and somebody as a group manager kind of stuff?
Yes,
And so
you can do that. Just a second. Okay, so once you have created the group and once you have added the user, so after doing that, you can go to manage member here. So now you will have a plus sign here wherein you can add some more members into the groups if required. And you had the option to directly add the user from the user management section. So that option is also there. Now here, if you see, once you have added the users, so after adding the users, now you can make them owner. You can change their access, owner, manager, member, whatever access that you want to keep, you can give them accordingly. So here you have the option to choose the access. And in case if you wish to remove somebody from the group, here you can remove that person from the group also.
can you show how can we like restrict a person? Only owners can send the mail to the group. Like no,
Okay,
other than owner, no one should send the mail into the group.
no issues. Now let me do one thing. I will go to, this is my current group. Okay, let's imagine this is a group and I have currently only one person. So here I am adding one more user called as Jason, Calvin, and suppose Chris. Okay, so as of now I have added the currently there are four members in this group, right? There are you can say four users in this group. Now all these four users are imagine that these are the top bosses, right? So these are the top bosses. So nobody from outside my domain and nobody within my domain should be able to contact them. So only they should be able to contact with each other, right? So when Abhay will send an email on this email ID, so it should go to everyone. When Jason will send an email ID, you send an email on this email ID, so it will go to everyone, like this. However, some another person from the same domain who is not a part of that group should not be able to send an email, right? So if you want that, so what I will do now, since I have added those four people, I will again go to this group I'll go to edit setting, and now here I can come and I will disable external and entire organization. So now means only owners, managers and members will be able to communicate with on this group ID. So somewhere
Okay.
if I do not want out of all of them to whom I have added, so maybe sometimes I might have a requirement that uh, Jason should not be able to send email on this group email ID. However, he should receive it. However, he
Yeah,
should not be able to
you should not.
send. Yes. So what I can do, I will keep him as a member, and rest I can make them either owner or manager, whatever. And I'll click on save here. And now again I will go back. Now Jason is a member, right? So sorry, I can come here, access type, and I will enable this. So since Jason is a member, so I will untick member. So whoever are the owners and managers in that group, only they will be able to publish post. Publish post means sending emails on this group ID. So who can
Yeah.
send email on this group ID? So I have removed access from member also. So member can receive, however he cannot add a group ID. Maybe
One
similarly, yeah,
one
similarly
minute.
one.
Yeah, yeah. So can you explain? Can you go to the before window and can you explain in the like in that last sorry first column there like public post and there are some other options are there. No? Can you explain what are the things? So public post is like send a mail and yeah,
Yes,
that will be the one.
yes. So what is it that you want to know?
So in the access settings, so contact owners and view members, view topics. Can you explain what all other things? So public post is like
No, no. See, this is only important like sending email. Contact owner, view member, and view topic is something that they will get when they will go inside this group's application separately. So if
okay,
you see, there is this group icon. So this will separately take them to that group wherein
okay, okay,
whether they can view the topics means the previous emails that were sent on this group ID.
okay,
Can they do that? Can they see that who are there in this group ID? Can they view members like this? So this is something, these are the options are available for this group application.
okay. Group application. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Got it. Yeah.
Group application. Yes. And one more thing I want to show you here is, for example, suppose limited, wherein I also want to
No.
add all my employees are going to be family group, kind wherein the company can send a mailer communication to all the employee at one time, right? It's like a common ID. Fine.
Yeah.
So let me create and show it to you. Suppose, for example, I am creating a group called as internal internal employees group. Means this is where you will have all your employees, okay, the entire employees within your organization, and you are going to name that group as family at the rate your domain name.com. Now who should be able to send email in that group? Like as I said, he is one user. Then suppose only these two people should be allowed to send email on this group email ID, now which will also consist my entire domain. Suppose if I have around 1000 users in my domain, and I want to add all those 1000 users also inside this group, inside this family group. However, only these two users, Jason and Calvin, who are the department heads, only they should be able to send an email on that group ID, which will go to entire 1000 people. However, others, they should not be able to reply back on that. Even if somebody tries to reply back, they will get a bounce back failure. So how I will do that? Now I have added these two users. I'll click on next. Now internal organization is something that I do not want, and I do not want members to publish posts, right? Publish posts, you know that
Yeah, send
nobody
a mail.
can send email, member cannot send email, so I have removed it for member also. Now I will create group. Now what I will do, I will add my entire organization, and that entire organization I will keep him as a member so that he can be a part of this group. However, he cannot send email on that. So how I will add that, I'll go to manage members, and here I will click to add my entire domain. So how I will do
Okay.
that, I will click on the plus symbol and I will click on advanced, and here I will just click add all current and future users of my domain to this group with all email setting. That's it, I have added. Now let me go ahead and okay, 1 second. Yes, can you see the entire organization is added and they have been they are kept as a member. That's it. Now you can save the group. So now anybody, not anybody, only these two users, whom we have added in this group called as family. So only whenever they will send an email on this email ID, so that email, these two users, when they will send an email on this email ID, so the email will go to your entire organization, whoever falls under this domain. So the email will go to everyone. However, nobody will be able to reply that. So whenever they will reply back on this email ID, so they will get a bounce back failure.
One more doubt. Like, so if you add any new user in our domain, which means a new employee or something, so they will they get automatically added in this group?
Absolutely, you don't have to add him once again, so he will get added automatically. So here, if you saw the option that says
Add
add all current and future users of your domain to this group. So for the to only for this group, means only this group you have applied this particular setting, right? So clear with the group part?
Yeah.
Great.
Sandeep, I have one question.
Please.
Is there any way where the user can send and receive message without even adding their self in the group?
User can send and receive
Message
email.
from
Yeah,
from
you
another.
can.
No, I actually didn't
No,
got your requirement, honestly.
actually, he
One
is
minute.
saying that if
Mike,
if if anyone is not is not the part of the group, that
Okay.
user can send the email or to the group or receive the email which is sending to the group. Am I right, Ravi?
yes, you're right.
See, even though he is a part of that group or not, so whether who is he? Whether he is from within the organization or outside the
Within
organization.
the organization, within the organization.
Okay, so within the organization, you have an option to choose, right? Here, when you
You
click
can
on
change the
edit
setting.
setting, so you can choose here, no, whether my internal users from within the organization, whether he can send mail on that group ID or not. That is something that you can choose here. But this will be applicable to all. So you
Yeah,
cannot say that
not for
only
the particular user.
yeah, no, that cannot be done. So in case if you are restricting the entire organization, means everybody will be restricted, and all the users in your domain. So what you can do here is, so then you will have to add him into the group. That is the only option. So without adding him into a group, and maybe you can keep him a member, you can make him a member, so he can receive emails which is sent on this group ID, and you can remove this option also. So maybe that person can receive emails in his inbox, and maybe he will not be able to reply back. But without adding him to a group, so automatically that cannot happen.
Sandeep, one more, just one.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
if
please.
if a member part of the group, so he can able to send a mail, but he don't want to receive any mail. Is there any option for that?
Why he do not want to receive an emails?
That is kind of if the if a manager from a product team, I'm just explaining the scenario. If manager from the product team,
Hmm.
so group of sales people. So he's a product manager. He wants to say something, which means like send some announcement or something. So he can send it to the group, but he don't want to like receive any mails about sales team announcements. If the sales team telling something else to their own like inside the department, they don't want. So the particular user from the product in he don't want to like get a mail the like that mails. So is
Okay,
that
so in that case, what a user can do now, this is a requirement that only specific set of user might have, right? The
yeah yeah
this is not related to admin at all. So what user can do, like he can go to his inbox and he
yeah
can create a filter wherein through a filter, maybe for example, suppose what filter I want to create right now is, whenever I receive an email from this group email ID called as suppose silver group, right? This is a silver group email ID, and whenever I receive an email from this group ID, so what I will do, I want to take some action on that group ID. So that group email ID will be like this, right? It will be marked to this ID, right? So
okay
whenever an email is marked to this group email ID, wherein I am also there inside this group, so what I want, I will let me create a filter, and this filter will be like delete. That's it.
okay
So now I will click on create filter. Now what happened, whenever an email is sent and into this group is marked, so that email will not land into my inbox only. From server itself, this email will be deleted. So this control, it is with the user. Now suppose for example, he created a filter, that's it. Now whenever an email is sent from marking to that group ID, so this user will not receive it. However, after some time, if he realize that no, I want to receive emails from that group ID, if it is marked to that group ID, I want to continue receiving that email. So what he can do, he can simply go to his setting and he can delete that filter which he has created. So what he can do, he can go to
okay
see all settings, and here inside filters and blocked address, so see, this is a filter that he has created before, right? So he will select it and he will simply delete it, that's it. Now the filter, the moment the filter is deleted, now any email that is sent on to group ID, and if he's a part of that, so that email will come to his inbox. So this is something that user can do and control from his end, also from his inbox. So
is it okay is there any way we can do this from the group setting? There is no way. I'm
no,
just
there is
asking.
no way inside the group setting to do that. So user will have to do that individually. Fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sandeep, actually, still I'm not satisfied with the answer. My question is, suppose there are two groups. One is sales and another is IT. And I'm already added with the IT group. And there is one
One sec. One sec.
sales.
One sec. One sec. One sec. One sec. Okay. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Okay. So let me just write it down. So you're saying that you are in two groups. One is sales
And
and
another is IT.
IT. Okay.
Yes. So I'm already added myself in the IT group, right?
Okay. So Ravi is
Mm.
already there in the IT group.
Yes. And your
Okay. So you
concern is,
are you there in the sales group also, Ravi?
no, 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 I'm not there.
Okay. You are
But
not
I
in the
want to
sales group.
send, yes, yes, I'm not there with the sales group team, but I want to send a message to the sales group. Is there any setting where we can change and easily I
Uh,
can send a message to the sales group team?
See, the sales group that you have created, so
Hmm.
you need to first see what permission have you given them. So have
Hmm.
you allowed the internal people to send mail on that sales group ID? Have you allowed it? Wait, let me show
To
you.
whom? Hmm.
Let me show you.
Hmm.
For example,
Hmm.
let's imagine that this is a sales group that you have created. Let's assume
Okay.
that this is a sales group that you have created, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Okay.
Hmm.
So now inside the sales group, that where you are not added, okay? You are not
No,
added.
no, I'm not
So
there. Yes.
yes, what? So what permission? So is the entire organization allowed to send email on this sales group? Is it there? If
Yeah.
if
Hmm.
it is there, then you
Hmm.
will be Ravi will be able to send email on this ID. No problem. If this
Without
is
even adding myself.
yes. you will be able to send email ID. See, publish post means what? Who can send email on this group email ID?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Suppose this is a sales group email ID that you have created, and at the same time, who can send email on this group email ID, which will go to only certain set of people, like to whom you have added here in this sales group. So you will see, right? So the sales group that you have created here, so whom you have added, there are total 4 members, right?
Yes.
So there are 4 members. So whether Ravi is not a part of this group, so can
Okay.
Ravi send an email on this group email ID which will go to all 4 of them?
Exactly. Yes.
Right?
That's
Ravi,
right.
Yeah.
is it question for the Sabrish? The similar question?
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. You got my point. Yes.
Yes. So
Mm-hmm.
to this sales group, Ravi, what you need to do is the sales group that you have created, if you have enabled your entire organization, so any user in your domain will be able to send mail on this group email ID, which the email will go to those 4 people who are a part of this group,
Yes. Yes.
right? However, if you have not allowed, so not only you, right, not only you, none of your employee in the organization, they will be able to send mail on this group email ID. Only
Yes.
those 4 users whom you have added, only they will be able to communicate on this group ID. Is this clear now?
Yeah. Yeah. This is clear.
Okay, great. So it's purely permission what you are defining. And if not now, later on, in case if while creating a group, and in case if you do have any confusion, so please get in touch with our support team and they will help you out. Not to worry about that.
Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, so now, yes. Okay, the organization unit is something that we saw already inside the user section. Building and resources, I don't feel that is so important right now. So it is just one-time activity that needs to be done. I would request that in case if that is required in future, so you can either you can any of you can get in touch with me. I can help you out instantly to how to add rooms, or else you can call up our support team and they can help you. So maybe it's a very quick activity, but I don't think so that currently, see, nobody's going to office, everybody is working from home. So room bookings from Google Calendar may not be required at the moment, it may not be that urgent, but later on whenever it is required, so you can let me know. I will, because I do not want to spend time on that thing which does not have any priority at the moment. So next we will go to devices. So devices is basically wherein you can apply the policies. So I'll click on devices. Okay. So now the first thing you need to figure out on whether you are giving an email access to all the employees in your organization or not.
Sandeep,
So, yes,
Sandeep. So
please go
actually,
on.
can you please tell me, yeah, if anyone left the organization, then what needs to be done from our end? What can we block and what can we delete it from our end? If we don't want to delete any email ID, then what actions should be done from our end?
No, can you repeat your question again? Is this related to groups
No, no.
or?
If someone left our
Haha.
organization,
Okay. Yes.
yeah, and then we don't want to delete his email ID. Okay.
Okay.
Then
Hmm.
then what needs to be done from our end, and what from where he needs to be removed or from where we need to delete? What action should be done from our IT team?
Okay. So from do would you want his emails also?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I am recollecting. Okay, can I just finish this device management part, and then I can I answer that question?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, fine. So device management, because this device management is also related to the question that you have asked, so that is the reason at the end I can give the answer of your question, which includes this part also. That's why I want to answer your question at the end once I complete this. Fair enough? Okay. So, mobile device management, this is something wherein when you are allowing your users to access their official emails on their smartphone. So now what policy that you can apply? So you can go to setup. Now see, this is like a policy. Mobile management is like a policy. When I click on the policy, so see left hand side, all my OU gets appear, right? It appears. Now, whenever I am enforcing this policy, so see it is showing me that currently I am going to enforce this policy for all. All means my entire domain. However, if I select a particular OU, then it shows that I am going to enforce this policy only for this OU, right? The purchase OU that I have selected. So that is how you can choose whether the policy that you are going to apply, whether you are applying it to your entire organization, or you are applying it for only certain set of users based on OU. So that is something that you need to choose. So from mobile device management point of view, what we recommend to our to all our companies, that always keep the advanced policy. Now I will explain you what is the difference between basic and advanced. So in basic, what happens, your users, they can configure their emails on their smartphone, and their configuration will be complete, and later on they can check their emails. However, later on admin can wipe his account from his mobile phone, right? So that is the privilege that admin will get. I will show you where you can wipe the account. That is first thing. But in advanced access, what happens, suppose you have given advanced access to your entire management, right? And now after giving the advanced access, whoever configures their emails on their smartphone, so first it will come to admin for approval, right? So admin gets a chance here to see that the person is from which department, he is from this department. So does should we give him an access, official email access on his mobile phone or not? So admin has that option available, right? So until and unless you do not approve it, so the users will not be able to see his official emails in his on his mobile phone. Now where it will come to approval, I will show you that also later on. So that is first thing. So first it will come to you for approval. Secondly, there will be two profiles that will be created on his mobile phone. So one profile will be called as a work profile. So just to show you an image for your understanding, work profile in G Suite. And I click on images. Okay, can you see this? Okay, let me take this. Okay, so now there will be two profile on his mobile phone. So one will be a normal Gmail icon, and one would be a Gmail icon with orange circle and a briefcase symbol, right? So here, if you see, there is Google Photos, and there is one more Google photo with a orange circle. So there might be one more Google Drive, and there is one more Google Drive with an orange circle. So in case if a multiple, if you have given an advance access, so this two profile, one profile is by default is Gmail, and the another work profile automatically gets created. So what happens is, whenever he will click on this Gmail, so his official email will open, and whenever he will click on this Gmail, so his personal Gmail will open. Like the same way, when he will click on Google Drive here, so his official Google Drive will open, and when he will click on a normal drive, so it will take him to his personal drive. So that is why, that is how a separate profile gets created in case if you are giving him advanced access. And the third thing inside advanced access is, administrator also gets an option to wipe device. Wipe device means you can format somebody's mobile phone, you can factory reset somebody's mobile phone, like kind of in case it's a company owned device and user has not submitted after resigning, so you do not want the data to be exposed, so you can go ahead and you can wipe his device. So that is something that you will get inside the advanced features. So as I said, first it will come to you for approval. Based on your action, then only he will be able to see his emails. Secondly, two separate profile get created, and thirdly, you will also get an option to wipe out his device entire. So now this is where now you can choose what permission you want to keep, and accordingly you can click on save at the bottom here, right? In case if you have changed, you can click on save so that these changes will get propagated. Fine. So this is now I will show you where you will get an option to wipe his account, and where in case if you have given an advance access, so where it will come for the approval. So I'll again go back to device management on the main page of device management. So here on the left hand side, I will come to device approvals. That's it. Now see, here I'll go to all, I'll select all, and now see. So in case if you have given an advance access and this user, when he configures his email on his mobile phone, so it will come and it will be shown here, and here it will be shown as approval pending, right? And in case if you see that this user, okay, this user is from a sales department and he is the sales manager, so yes, he needs to be given that access. He should be given an access on his mobile phone. So what you will do, you will go to these three dots, and here you will get an option to approve device, right? The moment you will click on approve device, now the emails will start get syncing on his mobile phone, and now he can check his official emails and he can send and receive emails on his mobile phone also. However, if you feel that this person is from logistic department, and due to security reasons, we cannot give him access to emails on his smartphone, so you don't want to give him access, so you don't have to do anything. You have to leave the request as it is, so it will show as approval pending always, right? So you don't have to take any action on that.
If
And
that user got approved by mistake, then how can we block?
yes. Now, answering to this question at the same time, in case if an employee leaves the company, so what all you need to do. So in case if you feel that you had previously you have approved for this user, however later on you received a complaint against the user that there was some misuse that he tried to did. So management do not want him to have an access to official emails on his phone at all, which was approved by admin before. So now what you will do, you will perform wipe on his account. So what you need to do, you need, since you have approved it before, right? Now you can come to this section and click on wipe account. The moment you click on wipe account, his entire work profile, you have given him the advance access, right? Or no matter, even if it's the basic access, not advanced access, the moment you click perform wipe account, so his entire work profile gets removed from his mobile phone, right? And he will no longer have access to emails, official emails on his mobile phone. And tomorrow if you want that the user will go again and again, he will configure from the same mobile, so again it will come to you for an approval. So what you can do, if you want to avoid that, so simply you can block his device also. So the moment you block his device, so he will not be able to configure the emails from the same device once again. Fine. And later on, if you want to unblock, again, once you click on block, later on it will give you an option to unblock also, so you can unblock his device if required. So as I said,
Sandeep,
you yes.
Sandeep, if that I think the device will be blocked through the device name. If we change
Yes.
the device name, then will it
Yes,
come
obviously.
to us?
If he'll for example, he had two phones, and in one phone you have already blocked, right? So now if he tries to configure from an another phone, but his email ID is anyway same, no? His email
Yeah.
ID is same, so it will still come to you for an approval. Now, if you feel, now you can take action accordingly, and then you can decide what you need to do. So now this, see this configuration, what he has done. So why his device is getting blocked here? Because this configuration what he has done, so that configuration, that handsets IMEI number is, captured here. If you see, the IMEI number of the mobile phone is captured here. So what you are doing when you are blocking this device, so basically this function is blocking that IMEI number for MDM configuration. So next time if the user will configure his email ID, so anyways he is going to use the same email ID, no? However, if our system sees that he's configuring the same email ID and on the same IMEI number on the same phone, so it will detect that this is a blocked IMEI number, so it will not allow him to do the configuration process further. So that is something that you have already blocked him, right? So I hope you understood how to wipe the account. And if you remember, I had also told you one more option, wherein if you are giving him work profile, so in work profile you also get an option to wipe his entire phone. So this is that second option, wipe device. So suppose the phone that you had given him, this Android phone that you had given him, so this was the phone that was issued by the office, right? So this is like an official device. However, this user, he has not returned the phone back, and now he's not responding. So maybe a management may be concerned or worried about the data that was there inside that phone, which management do not want to get exposed. So what IT can do, IT can go ahead and completely wipe his device. So the moment he perform wipe device action, so his entire phone will be factory resetted. So you will have to use this very carefully, huh? Because in case if user if you have performed this and user has configured his email ID on his personal phone, so his personal phone will also get formatted. So you have to be very careful while using this option. Any questions from device management point of view, MDM point of view? Anybody?
No.
Great.
No, Sandeep.
Okay. Okay, now we will go to application section, wherein admin will have an access to control the application and their access. So like by default Google has enabled everything for a user. Means a user can access any application that he want. User can send
Sandeep,
email to any domain.
Sandeep, what is the difference between a wipe account or wipe device?
Wipe account means you are wiping out his email ID that he has configured on his mobile phone. That is wipe account. Wipe device means you are factory resetting his phone. Means including email, whatever data is there on his phone, everything will be wiped off. It would be like a completely new phone.
So, okay, if I am having my personal phone and my personal account is also there, and I have
Everything,
configured that
everything.
official account.
Yes,
Okay, great.
the wipe device factory reset means what? Factory reset means it's like a new phone which you have recently unpacked, right? So
Okay, okay. Thanks.
your unpacked phone does not have anything configured, right? Later on you configure
Yeah, yeah.
everything. Yeah, so
Oh, great.
wipe device is something which is and that is something, as I said, you will get only if you have given advance access. So that is why we always recommend to have an advance access. So coming back to the question that somebody raised, that whenever you have a user resigning from the organization, so before deleting his email ID, so if you want, you can, what you can do, If you do not want his email ID at all, and if you do not want his current emails, maybe you might want that emails which are sent to him still to come to someone's inbox, right? In case if you want that, you can still make use of alias. So are you aware about alias?
No.
Okay, let me do one thing. Let me just show you an example here. Okay. Suppose there are two users, one is Jason and one is Kelvin, right? So these are two users. Just give me a moment, okay? Just 1 minute. Okay, I'm so sorry. There was just a minor interruption. Okay, just to give you an example, suppose I have two users, one is Jason and one is Kelvin. So now what happens is, Kelvin is has left the organization, and whatever is emails and all are there. So somehow we have ensured that we have taken a copy of all those emails. Now what I also want to ensure that after deleting the email ID, so if anybody by mistakenly sends him an email, so obviously they will get a bounce back failure, right? So bounce back failure means what? The email will not come, and the person who has sent, he will get a bounce back failure, that the email has bounced. So this is something, and it can be an important email for my organization which I do not want to miss. So what I will do is, once this email ID is deleted, this Calvin's email ID is deleted, so what I will do, in case if by mistakenly if anybody sends an email on this email ID, so that email should go to somebody, right? Now who is that person? And suppose I have selected Jason is that person. So what I will do, I will go inside Jason's email ID here, and I will go to user information, and here I can add Calvin's email ID as an alias, like this, right here. Now I won't be able to add, because he's an active user. I have still not deleted his email ID, no, that's why. Fine. So see, that is the reason I'm getting this option. For example, suppose just imagine that I have not created any email ID. So you can say it's as a virtual email ID. So virtual email ID is Tanya at the rate. Okay. And
Sandeep, you're
save.
saying after deleted, Sandeep, you're saying
Yes.
after delete, right? After deleting, can we search with that email ID? It will be exist,
No, no, no. After deleting, it won't exist. However,
right?
what you want to ensure that if by mistakenly, if somebody sends email on that email ID which you have already deleted, and if you
Hmm.
want that email to still come to somebody's inbox, so you can add that email ID into that person's alias.
That means existing or not. If the email ID is already deleted, then also we can use this email ID you're saying, alias.
Just a second. Just a second. Let me try to show you whether. See, this why I am not able to add this into Jason's
It is already
alias,
existing, already
because
existing, already
this
existing.
user already exists. Now, why
Right.
I was able to add this as an alias, Tanya at the rate, or maybe Karan at the rate. Now, why this alias got added? Because here, when I come to user section, so I don't have any user with the name of Karan in my domain. right? So I
Right,
have got
right,
only very
right.
limited ID. So I do not have any user called as Karan in my domain. However, I still have added Karan as a JSON's alias. So that means tomorrow, if anybody sends an email on Karan's email ID, so it will automatically come to JSON's inbox.
That means it's the redirecting that email to JSON.
Yes, yes.
Okay, got it.
So basically, this is where alias comes into picture, and you can still you cannot lose any emails that are being sent on the deleted email IDs. So it will still go to somebody if you have added them as an alias. Okay, so we will go to the app section now. Uh, Okay. So as I said that by default, all the applications are open to your users, and at the same time, they can access anything. They can send emails anywhere. They can share files from Google Drive anywhere. They can use the Google Chat. They can do conferencing, video conferencing with applications, right? So now, you can define that, what should be allowed and what should not be allowed. So in case if you want to restrict an applications fully, so again, like this is a policy, so you can select the OU, and like you can turn off the application, like the my users who falls under this OU, they should not have access to chat. I don't want them to also give access to video conferencing, so they should not be able to do that. I do not want them to make a group, right? Chat, I don't want to give them. Like this, I can select the applications fully that I don't want, and I can simply turn it off. So the moment I turn it off, what happens? They will not be able to access these applications anymore. So they will be able to see the application here. However, when they click here, when they click on it, it will show them that you do not have access. Please contact administrator. So that is the error. That is something that they will get. Now here, as I said, you are applying the policy based on OU level. Now, in case if you want to block these applications not on OU but based on groups, so here you have the group option also. So I can go and I can type the group. All the groups will be displayed here, right? So for example, I'm selecting the silver group, and now see, now I'm showing, it is showing me the app status for this group. Now for example, if I do not want to give them these access, so simply I can unset it, right? So currently maybe that is there, so I can unset it. So they will not have access to these application anymore. So now the group based policy is only at this location. However, now if you will go inside, you may not get this option. You will only have the OU based option. For example, now like Google Drive. So now what you want to do is you want to allow usage of Google Drive to your users. You want them to use it. However, you do not want them to share any files or any folders outside the company. That is something that you do not want, right? So what you can do is you can go to Drive. Now you can click on Drive, and now you can set that policy either for your entire domain or for only certain set of users based on OU. However, not on groups, huh? Because group option is, you will something that you will know. Acha, it is all added now. It is added. So now you can have this option for groups also. It is added now. So in basic it is not there. However, for business users who have a business licenses, so this would be applicable to only them, right? So not for basic users. So now you can either apply this setting based on OU, or based on groups also. And user wise also, you can select, and you can see whether is there any certain set of users to whom only you want to block external sharing. So this is something that is that you can come and add here, right? So like see, sharing outside your domain, sharing outside Great Lakes learning.com, like this it will be shown. And now currently it is on. So on means he can share, with the moment you click here and you turn it off, I'm not getting an option to turn that off. User, just a second. So here I should get an option to turn that off. So previously this was not there. So from user point of view, I think this is added recently, and this might be currently under testing. That is the reason. Otherwise, I get a pencil icon here so that I can modify the rights, which is currently I'm not getting. So maybe I will just get a confirmation on this and I'll check. So for example, suppose if I want to block the group sharing for this group, that this is a group that I have created, and for them I want to turn off the external sharing. So I can simply come here and I can turn it off. Or else if I want them to share files or folders externally, however on only on some specific domain, so I can whitelist, I can do that on a whitelisted domain. So when I go to this domain section, so here I can whitelist some domains which will be visible here. So I can just select it. Now they will be able to communicate only with the domains that you have whitelisted for them, right? So that is something that is related to drive. So there is one more option. uh, you remember I had showed you, while deleting the id you get an option to transfer the ownership of those files, means to transfer the Google Drive file. So there is one more place here, that is migration. No, not migration.
The transfer.
Transfer of
Data
ownership.
migration you told about. Data
You have
Yes.
to
migration.
go to transfer. Email to email means the transfer you have to use it.
No, not this is not email to email. We are into Google Drive, no? So it's file.
Oh, sorry. Google Drive. Sorry. Last we have to go down. It's a transfer ownership.
Yes, here you have that option. So simply you can enter the email ID of a user to whom from whom you want to transfer the files, and to the user to whom you have to transfer those files. Means make the ownership of those files, transfer the ownership of those files to them. So you can do that for Google Drive. That's in the same way. Email. So when you go inside email. Okay, so there are some certain compliance related settings. So these user labs and all these things are like basic user settings related control. So that is something that is purely admin's choice whether they want to allow it or not. So, but just some key things I will let you know. Default routing. Default routing is something wherein if you want an incoming email of a specific person or a specific user, if you want to route his incoming email to somebody else for maybe for a temporary period or maybe some period of time, so you can use this default routing feature. So simply click on add another rule. Here you can enter the name of that user. For example, I want to ensure that any email that comes to Kelvin, right, and I will enter his like suppose I have entered his email ID, let's assume. So any email that come to Kelvin, so I want to ensure that one email, one copy of that email should also go to somebody else, and without Kelvin's notice, so he will not be able to see that his emails are getting routed. So maybe he management want to observe him for some period of time. That's why his email needs to be monitored. So what setting admin will apply? Admin will go to default routing. He will enter the user's email ID. He will keep this option modify. If he wants to change the header, like when the message will come to the person whose email ID is added, so if there some a change needs to be there in the email header, that can be selected. Whether the subject line, before the subject line there should be anything, right? Like for every email that is forwarded to inbox. So this word should be there before the subject line added, so that the person comes to know that this is a forwarded email. So if you want, he can do that. Any attachment, so in case if there is any attachment in the email, so I don't want that attachment to come to my inbox. And the last option is also delivered to, right? So here you can come. So now like here I will enter my email ID, and at the same time I'll click on save, and I'll click on save here. That's it. So now what will happen is, the moment I apply save this, so one routing gets active. So now whatever email that will come to Calvin's inbox, so one copy of that email will also come to my inbox, and Calvin will never come to know that his emails are getting forwarded to somebody, and those are being monitored, right? So whenever till the time you have enabled that, the routing will keep the emails will keep routing. And someday you feel that now you need to disable it temporarily, so you can clearly come here and you can disable it. So right now, see, this is the setting which we have already disabled, kept it disabled. If I want to enable, I can enable. And after enabling, if I feel that this needs to be disabled now, so I can disable that. And maybe once disabled, your setting will still remain the same, remain as it is. And later on, if you want, you can enable it. However, now if you completely wants to delete it, because Calvin has already left the organization, so there is no point in keeping that keeping the setting. So I can simply delete that. So that is what basically routing is all about. This is where you are only routing his incoming emails. So if you want to route his outgoing emails also, then there is a separate option somewhere in the compliance section that I will show you. So that is default routing here, that is available. Manage quarantines, I will show you at the end what manage quarantine means. I'll click on go to admin quarantine. I'll keep it open, and later on I will show you where it will help me. Let me go back to the compliance related settings for my emails. We are inside emails. Okay, so whatever settings that I'm going to show you, all are related to emails. Okay, so here maybe I'll just quickly run you through what all things are there, because practically maybe to show you it will take a lot of time. That's why. So the first thing that I can do is block senders. Block sender means here I can do a configuration wherein I can block specific senders, right, to my domain. I can block any specific user also, or I can block a specific entire domain also to my domain. And my domain will never receive emails from any of the users from that domain. Like for example, you have 1,000 users and you have a domain, right? So now for that domain, for your domain, you have like blocked, like you have blacklisted, suppose for example amazon.com, you have blacklisted that email id through block senders. Now from that, none of the user from amazon.com email id so will be able to contact any users in your domain. Even if they will try to send an email to your domain, they will get a bounce back failure. So like this, you can come here and you can add a setting wherein you can add n number of email either the email ids or your entire domain name, in case if you want to block communications from them. So that is something that you will be able to do from the block senders section. Then I'll come to routing related policies. Routing here, right? So routing here, you have routing emails wherein you can take action on your emails, whether it be an outgoing emails within the organization, outside the organization, whether it's an incoming email from within the organization or outgoing the organization. So you can choose, and accordingly you can take an action either on your OU or either on your entire domain. Now, so for example, suppose my OU called as sales. So here I want to apply I can see that already one setting is applied, but still, just to show you what setting I want to apply to my sales OU is like, whenever my users in this OU, when they will send an email outside the company, outbound means outside the company, sending mails outside the company, inbound means receiving mails from outside the company, internal sending and receiving means the mails that are sent and received within your domain, right? So here you may not have any problem, but yes, you may want to keep an eye on these things. Fine. So a user from my this OU, whenever he sends an email outside my domain, so what action do you want to take? Whether it is for a specific sender means any one person from this OU, if you want to apply a setting only on him, you can mention his email ID, or else if you want the setting to be applied to all the users in this OU, so you can leave as it is. Or whether you want to apply this setting only on a specific envelope sender means any user from this email ID, if they send email outside the domain only to one particular ID, then only the action should be taken. If you want that also, so you can choose that option. Or else if you want to take action on all the emails, like any users from this OU, whenever they sends an email outside the company, so what action do you want to take? You have three actions. First is modify, second is reject, and third is quarantine. Modify means what will happen. Modify is like a routing. So on the bottom you will have to add one email ID here. So and you will click on save settings, right? So once you have added, once you clicked on save, then you will click on add settings. So what will happen now? Any user from this OU, when they will send an email outside the company, the email will be successful. However, one copy of that email will automatically come to the email address that you have mentioned here. Means here maybe you want to take an evidence for that purpose. The email will be successful and one copy will come to this inbox. This is the first choice. Second choice, straight away reject means whenever a user from this OU, when they will send an email outside the company, means any email ID which is outside the domain, so the email should automatically bounce, right? So the mail should automatically get bounced. And what is the error? So by default they will get an error, or else you can put the error message that needs to be displayed, so that control is also with you here. So that is the second option. Third option, quarantine. Quarantine means whenever a user from this OU, when he will send an email outside my company, so what will happen? First, I will see that email, and then I will decide whether the mail should go outside the company or it should not go. So if you have applied for this policy, if you have applied this policy quarantine, so now what will happen? Any user from this OU, when they will send an email outside the company, all those email will come into your admin quarantine. Remember, this is something that I showed you and I told you I will show you at the end. So it will come to admin quarantine here. So now, the moment, I do not have any example to show you right now. So whenever the mail that will come here, so you will be able to see that what emails is there. And now you can choose whether you want to allow that email or whether you want to deny. So you will also be able to see the subject line, what's there in the email body, what he has written, what was the attachment type. You cannot open the attachment, however you can see that yes, he had added one PDF file and one Excel file like this. And you will be able to see everything, or what was there in the as the email content. Now you can choose what you need to do. So if you click on allow, then the email will be successful, and now it will be sent to the sender, means the sender will receive it. However, if you will deny it, then the sender will get a bounce back failure.
Sandeep, this quarantine feature we have to do a specific group or specific user.
No, here see you have an option. No, you are applying it on OU. So here you do not have an option to apply it on a specific user, or maybe a specific group. You don't have that option at all. You will have to apply it on an OU. So you will have to create an OU, and you will have to put users in that OU, and then you will have to come here and apply the settings.
Okay, you're saying right outbound mails, right? Outbound mails, there is a bulk mails will be there. Internally means okay, no problem. But the outbound mails means the bulk mails he has to see one by one. It will be like time taken.
No, no, no. Outbound mails means here any emails that is sent outside, means apart from your domain, any emails that is sent to some another domain is considered as an outbound message.
Yes, yes.
Right, yes. So see, my domain is shivami.com, right? So whatever emails that I send to shivami.com, that would be like internal sending. Whatever emails that I receive from my internal employees, that is like internal receiving.
Internal
However,
receiving.
if I send an email to greatlearnings.com,
Sure,
so
sure.
that becomes my
Sorry, Sandeep.
outbound.
I got, I understood this, but I'm asking only for the quarantine. You said
No.
quarantine means if the mail will come. Hello,
Yeah.
hello. You're saying about the quarantine, right? That I'm asking for that one. Only for that point of view, it will the bulk emails are coming means it will be overloaded, right? Everything it has to approve, approve, approve. It has to go. Not that's
See,
the time taking
obviously,
process.
obviously, that is why you have to choose wisely. No, that the users who are in this particular OU, so whether they are allowed to send outside email or not. If they are completely not allowed, right? So simply, as I said, you can straight away take an action of rejection, so that you don't have to sit and keep monitoring, right? So this is something that
Perfect, perfect.
you can do. Otherwise, if you
Got it, got it.
want,
Okay.
if kind of if you want to apply this policy for any one person and not everybody, so simply what you can do, you can create an OU, and inside that OU you can keep only one person, that you can add only one person, and then later on you can come and apply the policy here,
Okay,
right?
Sandeep.
So
Okay, got it, got it.
yeah, that's it. So that is quarantine, something that I showed you. That is wherein you are taking an action on all the outgoing emails outside your domain, or maybe the emails that are coming inside your domain, right? So from external domain. So this is something that is there available in the routing. Now in the compliance part here, compliance part, you will have something called as content compliance. After this I will come to restrict delivery, will explain you what is that all about. Content compliance is also same as routing that I showed you right now. However, the only difference is content compliance will take the action on the emails only based on the keywords that you are going to specify. It will not take action on each and every email, right? For example, so I want to apply a policy wherein any users from my sales OU, whenever they sends an email outside the company, and if their email contains these keywords like mm, right, so these are the keywords that you can define based on your business and based on your process, and you can set up those keywords here. And now the action taken can be the same thing, all those three: modify, reject, and quarantine. So now what you did here in the content compliance, so you are taking an action on the emails which will be sent by the users from this OU to an outside domain, and if their email contain any of these keywords, so then only the action will be taken, whatever action that you have defined here, right? So like quarantine, so any mail that a user sends, and if those contains this keyword, so the email will go to admin quarantine, and now you need to go and check the admin quarantine that what action you need to take accordingly, right? So this is something, content compliance is something that you are doing based on keywords. That is why it is called as content compliance. Then you have restrict delivery. Now restrict delivery is something wherein you are allowing the users to communicate only with those domains where you feel that they should be allowed to. Apart from that, like rest, everything would be blocked for them. So you can say that you are whitelisting certain domains for the users. Again, example, my users in this OU, sales OU, right? So they are allowed to communicate with only abc.com and xyz.com. Now these are some two external domains, and these are the only two external domains which I want to allow them. So apart from internally, they can communicate externally, however only on two domains, one is abc.com and one is xyz.com. So in case if they try to send an email on shivami.com, the email will bounce. In case if Shivami tries to send an email to those users, so Shivami will also get a bounce back failure. So if user tries to send an email on gmail.com, so the email will bounce back like this. So restricting delivery means you are restricting the domains to your users who are allowed to exchange email with, right? It's written very clearly. So nothing, you just have to click on configure, and inside you will have to just go and add the domain IDs, domain names, and after that only those domain will be whitelisted for them. So apart from that, rest everything will be blocked. So that is what your restrict delivery is all about.
Sandeep, one
Yes.
question. No reply will be there, right? No reply email ID. It comes under which one? This no reply.
No reply means?
Actually, we have a program manager who wants to create the email IDs, which the
Okay.
there does not be any response from their end. Only from
Okay.
this end, there no reply.
Acha, acha, acha. You want to set a no reply.
Is there an option in this?
Mm, no reply option currently from here, it cannot be set. It cannot be
Okay.
set up from here. So what you can do is, whenever you are sending out an email, at that time below the email, then you will have to add that disclaimer, that kindly do not reply on this email, or kindly do not reply back on this email. So that disclaimer word is something that you will have to add on inside that email, below the email body somewhere.
Other than that, they can't get any mail separate no reply email ID.
No, if you have a license, then see, why do you need that ID, by the way? I want to understand.
No, actually, some students are there. They must not redirect to the program manager. They have to view that query.
Hmm.
Actually, we got this issue long back. Someone as program manager asked us, we require no reply option.
No reply option.
Okay.
No, actually, I'm not understanding basically.
No reply ID means if anyone is sending outside, we'll get an alert, right? No reply. Don't respond to this email ID.
Uh, okay, okay.
I'm just asking
Okay,
this.
so like I understood. You want to allow people to send email. However, you do not want to allow them to receive emails.
from that given ID. Actually, he
Hmm.
wants that if Praveen is having there is one email ID name no reply at that ending routine. Okay, so user can send email to that email ID, but actually user cannot send that any email to that email ID. But that no reply at greater running can send email to each and every email ID.
I'm so sorry, but I'm little confused now. I'm little confused now.
Each and every organization is having one email ID name no reply at something. Okay, so what no reply means? If anyone wants to, this is related to customer care, I think so. Okay, so just
Okay,
like
but
customer
but
care.
are you going to utilize a license and you are going to create an email ID called as no reply? You will have
Yeah,
to, right?
yeah.
Okay, yes, yes, got it now. Now I understood. Because
So
somewhere I was confused whether you are going to use the license or not. Now, what you need to do here, suppose you have created an ID called as no reply at the rate greatlearnings.in, right? So, and from this email ID, you are sending lot of promotional emails. Let's suppose that you have sent lot of emails, promotional emails, and below all the emails you have also written a note called as please, this is a system generated response, so please do not reply on the emails, kindly contact on so and so number, like this. However,
correct, correct, correct.
there might be people who might try to reply back. However, since it's a licensed ID that you have created, you will still be able to receive emails, right? Because you have an inbox. However, now if you want to block the emails on that email ID, so what you need to do is create one OU and just add only that email ID there. Okay, and then go to the routing policy. Now let's suppose that this is OU that you have already added called as no reply, and you have already added that no reply email ID there. So select this OU, go to routing here, and click on inbound and internal receiving, both the email IDs, right? So select both the incoming emails, and what is it that you want to do? Straight away reject, so that anybody who sends an email on this particular email ID, on this user means on that email ID, so they will get a bounce back failure, and the bounce back failure is something that you can customize. Sorry, this is an auto generated email, so you cannot reply back. For more details, please contact our support team, like this. You can apply that, and you can click on add settings. So that means from that email ID you can send emails, because you have not put any restrictions on outgoing emails. However, you have only put restrictions on the incoming email. So I hope that answers your question and I'm able to understand that properly,
Yes, 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 yes. Correct. I
right?
got it.
No,
That's
yes,
what it
yes,
is.
great.
Right.
Okay, okay. So for that, but you will have to create an email ID called as no reply at the rate, and then you will have to ensure that those settings is added inside routing. Okay, the next thing, content compliance, is something that I showed you. Now you can also monitor the attachment. Here you have an option that is attachment compliance. So same way, for example, I have this OU with certain users. Now I want to take action on the attachment. Now attachment is always in types, right? So attachment cannot be unique, it can be of various types. Now for example, if you want to monitor attachments based on the type, you can do that also. Like a user in this OU, whenever they will send an email outside my domain, or whenever they are receiving an email from outside their domain, and if their attachment contains what attachment, so here you have that option. Like example, if their attachment contains some mp3 file or mpg, mov, or avi kind of file, right? Or custom is file, that's something that you want to add here, like what that you can add. So what should happen? The same three things, the three options: either modify, reject, or quarantine. So this is something that you can choose here. So you can go to modify, means the mail will be successful. However, one copy will come to the email ID that you have mentioned in the bottom, or else straight away reject. Like somebody from this OU, if they tries to send an mp3 file, so automatically the email should get rejected, because they are from the customer care team, so they don't have a privilege to share any video mp3 file like that. Or else quarantine. So in case if they are trying to do so, first we will check in the admin quarantine, and then we will take action accordingly. So that is something that you will be able to do for attachments also. So these are some of the compliance related settings for which you are available, which is available for you inside for your Gmail part, right? So you can choose accordingly what settings you need to have, and accordingly you can define an OU, and then you can apply those policies. As I said, if not now, later on, whenever you are trying to do the all these settings, so please take guidance from our support team and then only do that. So later on, we do not want you to come across any issues with your domain. Fine. Any questions with the applications part? Anyone?
No, Sandeep.
Great. Thank you.
No, Sandeep. So thank you.
Okay, okay, okay. We will come to security part now. Security has certain features which will be available only for business users, and some common features applicable across all basic as well as business users. Okay, so alerts, interactivity rules won't be there. Password management, yes. Password management is something wherein because whenever user tries to log into his inbox, so most important thing is password only. So without password, nobody can get have an access to his accounts until and unless he has not shared his password. So it becomes important for him to keep his password very strong, and also to ensure that the user is not disclosing the password. So you can choose here in the password section, like what would be the minimum character. Either you can do it for entire domain or only for certain set of users. So the minimum character of the password, the maximum length, whether you want to enforce the password policy immediately when they sign in next, right? That is something that you can choose, or maybe after the expiry period that will be applicable. When the password should expire for the user, and whether they are allowed to reuse the password or not, is something that you can come and choose here. Then you will have two-step verification, 2MF, that is called multi-factor authentication. It's an extra layer of security that gets added. So whenever user logs into his inbox, so after entering the username and password, now he will have to enter the OTP also. Now OTP will always be sent on the mobile number which user has entered while activating or registering for two-step verification. So until and unless he do not enter the password, his email will not be logged in. So if you want to enforce that two-step verification, so there is an option here, two-step verification. So that is something that can be done. So either you can allow the users to turn on two-step verification, or you can keep it, or enforcement is something that you can keep it off, and you can ensure that users are not not being forced to set up two-step verification, and you want to keep it as a choice again. So this is, see, purely it's an OU based. However, group based also you can apply the policy right here. So here you are getting an option. So group based applying policy option doesn't comes everywhere. If you saw when we went inside Gmail to apply policy, so that option was not there. So again, this is something that is available.
Actually, you said two-step verification to turn off, right? It will be any problem for the security purpose?
No, no, no. There will be no problem at all. However, it will be good for users that, like tomorrow, suppose if you have activated your two-step verification, right? If suppose if Ravi has activated his two-step verification, and I am one of the hacker. So tomorrow, even if I come to know Ravi's password, or maybe I am Ravi's colleague and Ravi has shared the email password with me. However, still I need to be very much relaxed, because even though Ravi might I might have Ravi's password, so Ravi can be relaxed because he has activated two-step verification. So even if Sandeep knows his password, and when he will try to log into his inbox, so OTP will be received only by Ravi, and the phone is with him only, right? So the moment he sees he's receiving the password, means somebody might be trying to log into his account. So later on he can log into his account, and he can change the password, and the person who is trying to log in will never be able to log in. So that is why
Yes, yes,
two-step
yes, 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 yes.
two-step verification is like called as an extra layer of security. So there would be no problem. However, it has certain pros and cons. So cons, like, user always need to be in the network, right? Because the OTP will be sent via SMS. So he should always have
Definitely.
access to network, so that he can receive SMS. And at the same time, his SMS should not be barred. And he should have access to his phone. That is also very important. So because until and unless he does not enter the OTP, he won't be able granted access to his phone. So that is again kind of somewhere a disadvantage that you can say. However, for security purpose, it is very good. Personal account you should always. And again, you know that there are certain people who has a habit of changing mobile numbers, every now and then. So what happens, previously whatever number they had entered, and now they are not using that number anymore, and they have discontinued that number. However, they forgot to remove the number from your this one. They forgot to remove the number from their two-step verification. And now whenever they are trying to log in, so Google is sending the OTP on that number which they have disconnected. So there is no other option rather than losing that account. So that is again one advantage. However, if they are changing the number, so they should always update the number before actually the number gets disconnected. So there are certain pros, there are certain cons. However, from security point of view, if you use it wisely, so I think you don't have to go for any other security related tools. So that
Okay,
is
thank you.
what is two-step verification is all about. So you can choose whether you want to have an enforcement to that user, or give them an option. Don't force on them, right? That you should activate it. Don't force them. Just give them an option, so that whenever if somebody feels, then they can do that, right? Okay, security. In security, there was one more thing, but this is something which would be applicable to only users who have a business license, because this is a business feature. So there is something called as session control, which is again a part of security. So somebody, once they log into their inbox via webmail, and in case if there is no activity happening inside their email, so what will happen? Their inbox will get logged off automatically. Right, so currently this is not happening. You might have seen that, in case if you have logged in your inbox at 10 o'clock, then you locked your system, you went somewhere, and then you came at 1 o'clock, and when you unlock your computer or laptop, you still see your inbox being logged in, right? Because there is no auto log off option that is available. However, if users who are having business license or enterprise licenses, so admin can set the time limit for them. Like in case of no activity after a certain period of time, the inbox should get locked off automatically. So that is what session control is all about. So when you come here, you will have an option called as Google session control. So here, like, you can choose this settings for your organization, for entire organization, or maybe for certain set of users. So you can choose the timing, that is minimum is 1 hour. As the moment, like, there is no customization also, that I want to keep maximum 30 minutes or 20 minutes kind of. So that is not there. Minimum is like 1 hour, and maximum is like you can choose to keep session never expires for session never expire. That's it. So suppose if I have kept 1 hour, and if I have applied this setting for my entire domain, so now whenever a user in my domain, so he keeps his inbox idle, so it will get logged off automatically after 1 hour. So that is one thing which is added inside your this section. Now again, as I said, this would be applied to only business licenses, because this is purely a business related feature. Okay. Now reports, quickly, I will show you that what all things will come under the reports section, and what is important for you. Like, since your organization has many administrators, so there might be certain things which you need to know. So now some viewable kind of reports would be the user reports. So you can go to accounts, and here you will come to know that the users in your organization, so how many of them are users, how many of them are admins, whether they have enrolled for two-step verification, or whether the two-step verification is enforced to them or not, right? So this is purely users detail, user status for your entire domain. What is his total storage, right? Well, when did he log in, when did he log in into his web browser, what time, and how many documents, files they have added, they have created. That is something that that will be shown here. If you want, you can download it in the form of attachments, also download it in the form of either CSV or Google Sheets if required, right? So this is something security point of view. I think need to see, yes, whether they have enrolled for two-step verification, and what is the other details, right? So that is something that will be displayed. Yeah. So now since you are coming to the company as so many administrators, so the superadministrators will be
Sandeep, your voice is breaking itself.
domain. And now we can see what all activities has happened inside the admin panel, and recorded at what time and which IP address. Is
Sandeep, your
breaking?
voice is breaking. Your voice is
Yeah.
breaking.
Yes, I can also see some. I got to know. Just give me a moment. Okay, am I audible now properly? Is it okay now?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, yes.
Okay, great, great, great. Okay. Fine. So, admin, whatever activities that are happening inside the admin console. So, and whatever, no matter whichever admin has done that or initiated that or performed that activity inside the admin console. So, all those activity gets created, gets recorded here in the admin log, along with the date, time, that event description, and the IP address also. Fine. So that is something wherein the entire admin activity will get recorded. So later on, for some purpose, if the super administrator wants to see that where it happened, who did this, so he can simply find it out. So if you remember today, I tried showing some of the demonstrations to you by adding some group settings. So no, till today, on today, that is 13th, right? So see, whatever activities that I did from the start of my session inside my admin console, so everything is everything is like recorded here, right? So see, I created this group member, and then later on I added some group settings. I this change for Calvin, and then later on, yeah, maximum in groups, I did lot of things. Then I tried to add alias, right? Inside this user. So all those things is getting captured here. So this is the entire admin log that you get. Now if you want to search for a specific event, you can do that also. Like for example, I want to search who has deleted the user. So user deletion. So now you see, it will show me that user deletion event was happened on so and so date. It was done by so and so administrators with this IP address, and on which email ID the action was taken, that will be mentioned here. In the same way, if I want to see user from the event name, which is user post group deletion. There are a lot of events, so you can search accordingly. So group deletion was done by this user. If I want to search via username, that I want to know that on one particular user what all action was taken on this user, what all action was taken and by which administrators. So see, I will come to know the name of all the administrators, that what all happened with this particular email ID. what all settings were applied on this email ID. That is, and the lastly, I can search with the help of admin. So now I have Abhay also, who is one of the admin. So I want to see what all action has Abhay taken inside in the admin console. And if I want, I can download this in the form of reports. And for any setting that I'm looking at here, I can also set an alert, right? Like, for example, currently I have selected this one, so I can set an alert for this also. Like, now whenever Abhay will do anything inside the admin console, so a notification should come to super administrator. I can set an alert. In the same way, I can go to event and like user deletion. Now whenever a user deletion will happen, so I want a super administrator wants to have an alert. In the same way, you have selected some another like username, so multiple alerts can be set by the super administrator in case if he wants to have a closed loop on all the activities that are happening inside the admin console. So that is available inside your admin logs. And then one feature that gets added is the drive audit. Now drive audit will be applicable only for users having the business license because it's a business feature. So what you can do inside drive audit is like, in case you can go and check what files a user who has a business license, what kind of files the user has kept in his Google Drive. And in case if he has shared the file with somebody, so whom he has shared, on what email ID he has shared the file is something that the administrator can come to know. However, administrator can only see the file type. Administrator cannot see what is there inside the file, right? So that is the difference. Now for example, if you see, when I go to drive audit, so what all activity has happened, so I will come to know all the activities that are happening inside my Google Drive. So everything will get recorded. Whatever business license users are doing, everything will get recorded. And now if you want, you can go and check one by one, or maybe you can check by user's name also. Like suppose for example, here I want to check from by user's name, I want to see what all file Kelvin, who is one of the user, has kept inside his Google Drive. Maybe at the moment he might not have any files. However, I can come to know that what all files he has kept. In case if he has deleted the files after sharing, or maybe I will be still able to see that data also, like he has for earlier he created and then later on he deleted. So I will come to know that also, means that also gets recorded here. Let me check with another user. Yes, so now see, here I can see that he will have a lot of files. Here he has kept some files. He had done some edit, view edit was done by him many a times. And at the same times, in case if he has shared the files with somebody outside the organization, so he will also be able to see that. He will also be able to you will also be able to catch that. Now so for suppose for example, this is my drive only, right? This is my Google Drive. And see, this is my Google Drive. And suppose if I'm sharing this JPG file, right? So this is a JPG file. Is there any problem with my voice?
In between, it was actually hanged. We were not able to hear you.
Am I audible now,
Yes.
Ravi? Okay,
Yes.
great.
Yes. Audible.
Yeah, audible, audible.
Yes, I just tried just change the network. Okay, now if you see that I have an image called as google.jpg. Now what I am doing is I am sharing this image on my personal email ID, uh, right? And I click on send. So that means I have shared on my personal email ID. And later on, from my personal email ID, I have downloaded that image. Then later on, what I do, I go to my Google Drive and I delete this image so that my organization shouldn't come to know that I have shared a file on my personal email ID. Right. So this is something that I want to do. So maybe suppose I have done that. However, when my admin will go to my audit log. Let me just refresh it. So this is from a security point of view. Okay. Okay, can you see the first entry itself? Or else suppose if I search via username. Okay, so see, it clearly shows me that Sandeep has, one JPG. There is one JPG file. No matter whatever file type it is, it will show you. So there is one JPG file, and Sandeep has shared it on this email ID. How you came to know that he went to user sharing permission change is something that he did. So let me go to the last entry. So it shows that he has. Okay, so that means it clearly shows that which email ID I have shared. So this is where I can monitor that also. And later on, if I want to ensure and if I want to keep an eye on all the files or folders that are shared outside the organization, right? So what I need to do, I need to simply create an alert. So for what I will create an alert, I will create the alert for visibility, and here I will select shared externally, right? And I will click on apply. So all the files that are shared externally now will be shown. And at the same time, I can also set an alert. Now within your domain, anybody who shares the file outside your domain, so simply you can set an alert. So there will be one notification that will come to either a super administrator or maybe to the email address which you have added here. And so they all will be receiving a notification email whenever a folder or a file is shared outside the company. So that is where you can create your alerts accordingly. So that is one thing inside audit log that you have. Then you have email log search. So if you want to see what emails are being sent and want to know the statuses also, so just you can come to know the status. For example, sender. So sender, you wants to add this user's email ID, and here you want to see that okay, so let me specify the range. So here I want to see that from 14th to till today, how many emails has he sent. And because I'm adding his details in the sender column, is email ID. So it will only show me the sent emails, the emails that are sent by this user. So see, when you click here, so you can see, you will come to know that on what email ID this mail was sent, right? Maybe this is, yeah. Yeah. So on what email ID the mail was sent, was there any attachment inside that, and what is the status? So in case if this mail is now successfully delivered. However, in case if the email was bounced, so you will come to know the bounce back failure reason, that why this email was bounced, right? So that is something you can come here and you can identify the reason here. So this is just an detail email log investigation in case if you want to do for any kind of emails. So that's what inside your report section. Okay, so billing here, I actually cannot show you. Can somebody share your admin console, and can you show me your screen so that I can explain you? Because since you have a combination of both the licenses, so I want to explain you from there itself straight away, because my admin console, what I am using is a purely business console, business edition console. It does not have any basic user, so here I won't be able to show you. So does anybody of you, if you have a console, Parveen, if you have a console, so you can just share your screen so that I can guide you and rest can see. Will that be okay?
I have joined through the mobile. Okay, so I can show you that admin
Uh, Sandeep,
admin
I'll just
application
join.
is there in my.
I'll just join. I'll just share my
Yes,
screen.
yes, yes, Ajay. So Ajay, what I have done, I have stopped my sharing, and you can share the screen from your end.
1 second.
Okay, okay, no problem.
Wait a minute. Hello. Hello. Hello.
Ajay, I can hear you. I'm there.
Can you see this?
Okay. Yes, yes, yes. So Ajay, go to the billing. Oh, you don't have a billing
I don't have.
access.
Sorry, I don't have. Sorry, I don't have.
Okay, okay. So only I think super administrator might have kept the access with him.
Hmm.
Okay. So
No, no problem, no problem, Sandeep. I will check. I will check. Okay,
okay,
I will
okay,
check and share on
okay,
the
okay.
screen.
One thing. Maybe I have a screenshot to show you. So if that works, just a second.
Okay.
Because maybe your admin might have kept that with himself. Okay, let me share my screen. So the first thing, when you will go into the billing section, so just want to show you. Okay, so if you can see my screen, so when you go into the billing section, so first it will show you that how many licenses do you have, and how many of them are occupied, like this, right? How many licenses do you have, and out of that, how many users currently are being used. So this is how, something that you will show. Now whenever you are, since you have only one admin console, so whenever you are creating a user, how the license assigning should be done. So whether he should be given a basic license by default, and then later on you will change it to business, or whether business assigned to be assigned to him, or later on you will give him change his license to basic one, or whether you want no license or licensing should happen. You will decide that what license to be given while after adding the user. So all those options will be available with you. So you know what you need to do for that. Once you will go to the billing section, the same link what I showed you right now. So here, for example, basic licenses, auto licensing you need to turn off, right? So suppose, for example, if you have kept auto licensing on for basic, and you have turned off for business. So what happens, whatever user id email id that you will create, so by default basic license will be assigned to them, and later on you can go and you can assign them the business license. So that is something, that is something that you can do. So like off, so wherein you will be required to add a license later on after creating the user. How to do that I will show you after this. So when you click on this same section what I'm showing you right now, here auto licensing, when you go inside your billing section, so you can choose whether you need to keep it off, or whether you need to keep by default basic, right? So this auto licensing option will come here. And now once that is done, so now I will show you where you can assign the license. When you go to your admin console, like suppose you have kept off, so means the moment you created a user is created, however auto license is not yet assigned to him. Now how will you assign the license? So what you need to do, simply once you have created an id, so go to that user. Okay, just come to the bottom, and you will see something called as licenses, right? So just click on that, and now here if you see that currently he is being assigned G Suite business license automatically, right? So in my admin console, the assignment of G Suite business is on auto licensing mode. That is why. So if I want to change it to off, then I will be kept it will be kept as off, and then I can choose. Now here I will be given two options, G Suite business and G Suite basic. So now I can choose which one I need to assign him, like that, right? So this is how you will get to know. So let me go back to my billing section here. The same thing. And as I said that this is currently my this one only, right? This is my business account, so I don't have any basic license at the moment. So see here I can go and choose. So manage licenses, and for G Suite licenses I can untick auto assigning, and I can click on save. So now auto assigning is turned off. So now what will happen every time? See, this is not feasible in case if my organization using is only one edition, right? So it would be an headache for me every time. So first I will create a license user, then I will go and I will assign the license. So anyways, my organization has only one edition. So why I have to waste my time in assigning the license separately? So right, but for mix and match cases, so this might be important. So now when I go back to my billing, yes, now it is done. So now if I go back to my user, so as I showed you, once you create the user, and after that, suppose, see, now I got the edit option here. See, now I can unassign it, right? Now I can unassign that license, and maybe here I will also get an option for G Suite Business and G Suite Basic. If my domain has both the licenses, so I will get the option. Now I can choose that, what license I need to assign to this user. So that is something that will be there in the building section. But maybe super administrator might have given the access to only few people, so those who can see the billing, only they can have that, or else maybe it's completely depends on your super admin. Okay.
Yeah, only management is having the billing
Yes,
there.
yes, I
That's
do
right.
I understood. Okay, then company profile. Again, company profile, you can upload the company logo. Let me show you my official inbox. See, this is my official inbox. So when I go to my inbox, I can see my company logo on the top right hand side. When I go to my drive, I can see my company logo. When I go to my calendar, I can see my company logo. Now, why I am able to see my company logo? Because my admin has added that inside my inside the admin console, inside personalization here, right? So if once you have that logo, the logo has certain criteria here. If you see, the logo has this criteria. So once your logo is ready, so you can come here, click on custom logo, select file, and click on save. So that's it, your logo will be uploaded, and slowly now it will be visible to all the users. So that is something that is there in the company profile. Admin roles, as I said, that basically it's purely super administrator, who decides who can be admin and what access needs to be given to them. So ideally it is only for super administrators. Domain, again, it is for super administrators. Means, for example, just to I cannot show you this practically because I don't have any domains to add. So for example, however, it is for your knowledge. So tomorrow if required, so it can be done through only through super administrators, and my support team can help you for that. So suppose example, I am managing, my company has two domain. One is shivami.com and one is shivami.net. These are the two different companies with different set of users. However, IT person is only me, right? And I am the one who is managing both the domains. So whenever I get a request from .com domain, so I log into my .com panel. When I get a request from .net domain, I log into my so like this, I have to manage two admin consoles separately, which is like a headache for me. So what I decide is, I decide that my .net domain should be added to .com domain, the .com panel. So whenever I will receive a request for any of the domain, so I do not have to log in separately. So means I can manage the both the users of my domain from my single admin console login, that is .com admin console login. I can manage both my users from there, so I don't have to log into two separate admin panels. So that is the purpose for which I can go inside domain and I can add a domain, right? So currently I cannot show it to you because I don't have any domain to add and demonstrate. However, in future, if it's required, you can get in touch with our support team and they can help you out on that. Then comes data migration. If you remember, I had told you, if you want to move emails from one user's inbox to another user's inbox, so for that you can take help of data migration. So in case if that is required some days, so what you can do, come to data migration, set up data migration here, select G Suite, click on start. Now you can select from what date to what date you want those emails. That is something that you can choose. Now let me suppose I want only last 6 month email. Whether you also want the deleted mails to be migrated, that option is there, junk email, or is there any folder which is something that you do not want, mean exclude, it's written exclude. Means, for example, there is a user, he has to whose email I want to move, and there are 10 folders. Out of that, there are 7 folders which and the emails from those folders, it's something that I do not want to transfer, to move. So what I can do, I can name those folders whose emails I do not want, like HR folder I do not want, training folder I do not want, accounts folder I do not want. Like this, the 7 folder names I can mention here. So means here you have to add the name of folders that you want to exclude. So suppose once you have done that, so you have created this rule. You can say that you have created this rule. Now you can select users. Now here you will click on add user, but you need to ensure that the user is not deleted, huh? This is something that you will have to do before deleting the id, because here you will have to also enter his email password. So if you don't know, reset his password and then log in. Like suppose I have Calvin, and I will enter his email password also. See, if I, in case if his email id is deleted, or if I enter a wrong password, so this will not accept. And now I want to move to this user's inbox. See, fine. So now after some time it will give me an error that this migration didn't completed because I had entered the wrong password. Now currently, right now it has not evaluated. Now later on, after some time, when I will come here, I will get a message that the wrong, because of the wrong password, this setting, the migration is not done. So what I can do, I can, in case if I am now okay, I can stop this, and I can again do the same thing. So I will add the email ID, correct password, and to whom I want to transfer, and then click on start. So my progress will be shown here. And once the entire migration is done, so I can simply stop this, and and then later on I can go ahead and I can delete the email ID. Fine. So that is something. And plus that is there, that is one of the feature. And secondly, again, vault, all the users who have the business licenses, so by default they also have Google Vault attached. So all their data is already getting backed up in Google Vault. However, Google Vault access only super administrators will have. And whenever they would want to retrieve data for somebody before deleting the email ID, so they can retrieve the data from Vault, and then later on they can configure that data somewhere on Microsoft Outlook or in the Thunderbird, which is an free email application. So that can be done. So in case whenever you want the data to be recovered from Vault, so you just get in touch with our help support team, and they will help you instantly. That is one feature. And secondly, like suppose that I want to give you one more option, just for your knowledge. Maybe you do not want to transfer emails of user from one inbox to another, but before deleting his email id, you want to download all his emails from his inbox, so that later on you can configure it somewhere. So there is an option called as Google Takeout, right? It's a free feature. You don't have to pay anything for that. However, entire process I cannot show you. My support team can help you whenever required. However, this is to just to put in your mind that yes, this is something that is there, and it might help you later on, rather than depending on any Google Vault or something. So suppose this user Sandeep, he has left the organization, he's not there, and you can see that there are a lot of important emails in his inbox. And before deleting, at the same time, you do not also want to transfer these emails to somebody, because for transfer you anyways have a data migration option. But you do not want to do that. You want to ensure that all his emails are being downloaded, and later on you will configure it either on an Outlook or either on Thunderbird, right, which is a free email application. And you can pick up some important emails based on what you are looking for exactly. So what you can do, with the help of Google Takeout, you can download all the emails. So just you have to log into that user's inbox. You need to go to manage Google account, and here you need to come to people and sharing. Just scroll down, No, security, no, data and personalization, it should be there. Yeah, here you have that option, download your data, right? So you'll click on download. This is what Google Takeout is all about. Fine. You can just simply go to YouTube or something. Maybe you might find a video, short video, and you will be able to understand the entire process. So now you can select what all things that you want from his inbox, from his account. So accordingly, you can check everything. And last, next step, now, how do you want the email link, download link to be added directly to Drive, to Dropbox, OneDrive, or add to Box, that you can choose. And once that is done, you can create an export. So after some time, based on the option that you have selected, you will get that file accordingly. And now you can configure it on Outlook or maybe Thunderbird, which is a free email applications. So that is something, that is an option I'm suggesting you, in case if you get stuck up somewhere, or else take a guidance of our support team. They will surely help you out.
Sandeep, actually, you're saying to backup, right? Is it possible to get the IMAP, sorry, POP3 files instead of IMAP
Honestly speaking,
backup means backup?
I'm not very much sure on that. Maybe sometimes if you get a chance to interact with our support team, so can I
Okay,
request you to just just check with them if possible.
sure, sure, definitely. Thank you, thank you.
Right. Yeah. Or else I will just check with them, and in case if I get to know anything, I will surely get back to you.
Okay, because from the webmail means we're getting only IMAP configuration because we have to configure again. You have to type that. That's what
Yes.
instead of POP3 IMAP means you get a POP3 because to take a backup means to use an Outlook in future.
I don't think so that would be mandatory. However,
Mhm.
still, I do not want to be very much confident on giving you a blunt reply. That's why. So either allow
Sure,
me
sure,
some
definitely,
time,
definitely,
or
definitely.
get back to
Sure,
you. Yeah.
definitely. Take your time. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so I think from admin point of view, maximum things is something that I've already cleared. I wish to share my support team number in case if like anybody of you do not have. 7757841333, right? So this is our support team's number, and at the same time I'm also dropping their email ID, right? support@shivami.com. So please save this number with the name of Shivami support or Google support, whatever, on your mobile phone. And whenever you get stuck up anywhere, somewhere, so do call on this number and press option number 2, which will let you connect directly to our support team. And currently also, in this lockdown situation also, my our entire support team is working from home, so they are available, so between 10 to 7, right? So in case if you need any assistance between 10 to 7, you can get in touch with them. And whatever assistance that you need inside your admin console, so they will surely help you out, right? If you want to send out a screenshot via email, so there is an email ID which I have shared. So a ticket gets generated automatically, and you will get a call from my support expert within maximum within 2 hours,
Thank you,
right?
Sandeep. Thank you.
Well, so I have only Mr. Neeraj's email ID with me. So now this recording that I have done, so it will be saved in my Google Drive after some time. I will only be able to share it, with him, and later on he can share it with all of you. So will that be
Yeah,
okay?
yeah, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
Fair enough, not a problem. So I will share the video with him, and later on, you can get it from him. Or else, in case if not, you can contact me, and I will share the video with all of you.
Sure, definitely, definitely. Otherwise, you can
Right?
forward that
Yeah.
link to Neeraj sir directly. He can forward to us, everyone.
Sorry.
We can forward that download Google Drive link to Neeraj, Mr. Neeraj sir.
Yes, yes,
He can
yes.
check to us.
Absolutely, absolutely. I will be sharing with him only, and then later on he will share it with all of you.
Sure.
Yep,
Thank you, Sandeep.
Sandeep, I have a doubt. So,
Yes, please.
is there any configuration we need to do in G Shoot, like admin panel for to accessing our admin account from our mobile? There is one application called Google Admin.
Yes.
Is there
So
any configuration?
first of all, I would want to know that are you accessing your official emails on your mobile phone?
Yeah, yeah, we are.
Okay. So the moment when you will open your admin app, so it will
Okay.
tell you to log in. So while logging in, you will have to select your official ID, because there
Yeah, okay.
it will also show you your personal email ID, because for
Okay.
your personal email ID you are not an admin, right? So you
Yeah,
won't
yeah.
have an access. However, for your official email ID, you are still an admin, so it will detect your email ID, and accordingly it will give you access. So there are certain quick things that you can do over phone itself, so you don't have to be dependent on browser always,
Okay, okay.
right? Yeah.
And one more thing, is there any possibility which we can do some settings like a less secure app enable for a particular user? Maybe do it from the, like, is there any possibility for that one? A group of people, maybe like people from a particular organizational unit.
uh less secure apps setting is there.
Yeah.
However, I have not seen them that on the ou level basis.
Okay, okay, okay.
So I will check that, and I will let you know. There is one more thing that I wanted to share with all of you, actually, before even getting in touch with our support team. So there is a Google's learning center. Let me show you. Just you need to open a browser and you need to type support.google.com. So I will also mention this URL in the chat window. Maybe you can make a note of it. So you know what, this is a learning center of Google. So whenever you get stuck up anywhere, maybe related to Google applications, user related application, or maybe anything which is related to admin console, right? So you get stuck up anywhere, so just come and search with the right keyword. So you will get some or the other related article, or I would not say article, because it's not based out of Google. So it's from Google only, wherein they might tell you about something. So Subbu, can you just repeat me your last question, what you said? Hello, Subha. You are telling something about less secure apps.
Yeah, sorry, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. So
Yeah.
you raised the question related to less secure apps.
Let's secure app. So like I just want to enable a let's secure app a permission for a particular users who is based on the particular organizational unit.
Okay, now see here, it is giving me some related content here, that what I need to do. So maybe I can understand some of here, or maybe, yeah, it shows me some or the other link wherein it will
Actually, this is actually like based on so it is showing based on for particular user.
yes,
Then so like
yes.
for per user basis. If I want to enable those that particular setting for a like 10 like nearly 100 people
And
for a
I understood
yeah.
specifically, like you are looking for an OU basis, right?
Yeah, kind of policy basis kind, yeah, OU basis policy kind of.
Yeah, I think that is still not there.
Okay.
However, I will just check with from my internal tech team whether is there any other way out, to get that or not, right?
Okay.
So I'll just check and I'll let you know.
No issues. And one more thing is for this two-step authentication.
Hmm.
So for that also, like, is there any way which we can force the people to enroll the two-step authentication, which is like mandatory? So like there is a scenario like in our organization, two-step authentication is mandatory. But whenever
Yes,
we
yes, I had showed you that you have an option to enforce. If you will enforce it, so
Hmm.
user will have to by default set it up. Until and unless they don't set up two-step verification, their inbox will not. It will means Gmail will not allow them to log into their inbox if you
Yeah,
are
that is what.
enforcing them.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
That is
is
there.
it okay? It
Yes,
is there.
It is there. It is there. When you go to
Okay.
the security section, under
Okay.
security, there will be something called as two-step verification. So go
Okay.
inside that, select
Hmm.
the OU to whom you want to push this, and select that option. So it will be enforced to everybody.
So yeah, so what happened here is like there is a like so whenever the person logins, so it will throw a pop-up like two-step authentication is mandatory, so you have to enroll.
Yes, yes,
And then
yes,
down there is an option for do it later.
yes.
So we are facing that issue. So most of the people doing that do it later. So they didn't do that after that. So it is getting error, which means like after some time the account has to be has been blocked, and we are creating backup code, and it is making some issue. So is there any option to grade out that do it later? So they have to without enrolling them into a two-step way,
Uh,
they won't.
Okay, so as far as I know, Suba, I think this is something
Mm.
that the first time I'm getting to know from you.
Okay.
Otherwise, if I do the enforcement, so
Uh-huh.
it until and unless user does not set up the two-step verification, he is not allowed to log into his inbox, and that
Okay.
do that later option is doesn't something that doesn't comes at all. Now, for
Okay.
your
Okay.
domain, why it is happening is something that comes into the
Uh-huh.
technical part. So first I'll
Okay.
do one
Okay.
thing. I will
Mm.
try it out for some OUs. I'll do the
Sure.
demonstration from my end, and
Sure.
let's see whether even I am getting the same option or not. Or if I am
Mm.
getting the same option, then what would be a way out to eradicate that? Or if
Mm.
I am not getting that option, and only you are getting it, then
Mm.
it needs to be checked for your domain,
Sure.
right?
Sure. No issues. Yeah. Got
So
it.
yeah, so that can be done.
Mm.
We'll have to just work out on that.
Yeah. Sure. Sure.
So just
Uh,
remember this support.google. So
yeah.
before
Sure.
you
Sure.
reach out to our support team, so just try to do some findings from your end, and in case if you are unsuccessful, then only like get in touch with our support team.
Thank you.
Yes, any more questions?
Sandeep, I'm having one question.
Please,
Uh,
Mr. Ravi.
can you come again on that part where you told about mobile access admin console and state of Google browser, how to access
Sorry, can you come again?
No, he's
uh,
asking about mobile admin application.
state of browser?
No, not that one, not the devices. It is he's asking about admin application. So Ravi, there is one application in Play Store. The name is
Google Admin.
Google Admin.
Huh?
So you can download that one and you can log into your browser
Which one?
from
Which one?
there.
What is the name of that?
Google Admin.
Google
Google
admin.
Admin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Google Admin.
So see, you can go to this one. Go to and type Google admin. So it will show you the same link which is for Google.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
same one.
This one, right? So this is the same logo,
Yeah.
right? So once you'll click on that and just install it, and while logging in, it will ask you the email ID, that from which email ID you want to sign in. So select your official email ID,
Okay. Okay.
right? Okay.
Yeah. And suppose I got request from HR team. They are requesting for create 100 email IDs, new email IDs. Is there any way where I can create one time for
on
multiple user in one time?
on mobile or on a browser?
No, no, on a browser I'm talking about.
Yes, I had already
Yeah,
spoken about
bulk users.
bulk
CSV
user.
import.
Yeah,
Ah,
CSV import.
so when you
multiple.
go to the user section, so here you have
Ah,
that bulk user option. See, bulk upload. So just download this file, CSV file, save it on your desktop. This
okay,
file will have first name, last name, email ID, password. So you have to put that all for those 100 IDs. And once
okay,
that file is ready, click here, attach CSV, select that file and click on upload. That's it. So all your 100 users will be created.
okay.
Yeah, any more questions?
No.
And yes, I have one more.
Yes, please.
Sometime what happen, renaming the user. Suppose I have
Hmm.
created one user today, and
Hmm.
tomorrow I'm getting a request from HR team. Ki please rename this user. And
Hmm.
while I'm renaming that user and checking through the mail server, that
Hmm.
the previous mail is not showing, but when I'm checking through Compose, there is showing the user.
No, that is only his ID, which is disclosing it as an alias, because by default it has got added as an alias. However,
Mhm.
what happens is when you remain when you rename it, so it will be still shown in your directory. So if you do not want that to have, so simply you can delete that license, you can delete that email and then create a fresh one. So let me show you an example. See, for example, when I type here Merlin, if you can see my screen, when I
Yes.
type Merlin here, so here you can see this is the proper email ID that shows. However, here when you see her name, so here you will see a different email ID. Yes or no?
Yes. Yes.
Now
Yes.
why this is showing is because earlier the email ID was this, which was later renamed to this email ID, right? So that is why now I do not have any option in my system to remove this, so this will be shown as it is. But you no need to worry, because even if you select the previous email ID, so which is already added as an alias to this email ID, so even if somebody sends an email on this, so automatically it will come to that email ID only. So in case of renaming, this thing is something that happens, and currently I do not have a provision to remove this, right? So in case if you want to avoid this in future, so what you should do, don't rename any user, simply delete it, delete the license, and then create sorry, delete the email ID and then create the fresh email ID,
Yes. Yes. I got it.
right? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's it
Oh,
from my side. Done.
thank you, Ravi. Welcome. Yeah. Anybody else?
No, my side is done. Thanks.
Welcome, Subha. Fair enough. Then I think we can close the session, right? And I have already shared my support contact details. For anything, please don't hesitate to get in touch with them. And I will be sharing this recording soon with Mr. Neeraj, and he will share the same with all of you. Fine. Yeah, thank you so much all of you, and thank you for taking out time to have a learning session on this. And it was also a pleasure for me to interact with all of you, right? Thank you so much. Hope you all have a nice evening ahead. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome. Bye.